You're standing at the edge of something big, something colossal, something you've dreamed about for years, maybe even decades. It's not just a fleeting thought. It's a vision that's lived in your mind, painted in colors so bright they almost blind you when you close your eyes. Maybe it's a new job, one that can lift you out of the ordinary and into a life you've only dared to imagine. Maybe it's a passion project, something you scribbled on napkins, sketched in notebooks, whispered to yourself in the quiet of night. Maybe it's a chance to finally step into the spotlight, to be seen, to be heard, to be known. Your heart's pounding like a drum in your chest, a rhythm you can't ignore. Your palms are sweaty, slick with anticipation, with nerves, with the weight of what could be. You can almost taste it, the possibility of success, sweet and sharp on your tongue, like the first bite of something you've hungered for. But then, out of nowhere, it hits you. It's not a gentle tap. It's a cold, creeping feeling slithering up your spine, wrapping around your throat. What if you fail? What if you pour everything into this, every ounce of yourself, and you fall flat on your face, sprawled out for the world to see? What if you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough? That's the fear of failure whispering in your ear, its voice low and insistent, louder than you want it to be, louder than you can stand. Right now you're wondering if there's a way out, a way to silence that voice, to drown it out, to shove it back into the shadows where it belongs, a way to push past it, to reach out with trembling hands and grab what's yours. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know something you don't know yet, something vital, something that could shift the ground beneath your feet, crack open the sky above you, change everything you thought you understood about yourself. Miss this, and you might miss the one piece of the puzzle you've been searching for, the one thread that could unravel the knot of fear tying you down. Let's start with a story. Picture a guy named Alex. Alex was just like you. He wasn't some larger-than-life hero, not a name you'd read in history books. He was ordinary, with a quiet voice and tired eyes, the kind of guy you'd pass on the street without a second glance. But inside him burned big dreams, dreams that kept him awake when the world was asleep. He wanted to start his own business, something small, something humble, a coffee shop maybe. He could see it so clearly, as if it already existed. A little place with warm lights glowing through fogged up windows, the kind that beckon you in from the cold, the smell of roasted beans drifting through the air, rich and earthy, mingling with the sound of laughter, of clinking mugs, of life unfolding. Every night, he'd sit at his kitchen table, a single bulb flickering overhead, and he'd sketch out plans on scraps of paper, floor layouts, counter designs, a chalkboard menu with swirls of handwriting. He'd dream up names for the place, whispering them to himself: Bean Haven, the Brew Nook, Alex's Corner. He'd imagine customers walking through the door, their faces lighting up as they took that first sip, steam curling from their cups like little promises. But every time he got close to making it real, every time he drove past an empty storefront, every time he held the phone to call about renting a space, every time he sat down to crunch the numbers, that fear would slink in, uninvited, unwanted. It wasn't loud at first. It was a whisper, a shadow, a nudge. What if no one showed up? What if the chairs stayed empty, the coffee grew cold, the dream turned to dust? What if he lost everything, his savings, his pride, his hope? What if he became the guy who tried and failed, the cautionary tale whispered over dinner tables? So he didn't. He stayed in his safe little job, a gray cubicle with fluorescent lights that buzzed like a headache, watching the years tick by, each one heavier than the last. The dream didn't die. It faded, slowly, painfully, like an old photograph left too long in the sun, the edges curling, the colors bleeding away. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever felt that pull, that tug-of-war between what you want and what you're afraid might happen? That ache in your chest when you think about what could be, followed by the chill of what might go wrong? Keep listening, because Alex's story isn't over yet, and neither is yours. There's more to this, a turn you won't see coming, and if you drift away now, you might miss the spark that could light up your own path. Now, let's rewind. Where does this fear come from? Let's dig into that, peel it back, look at it raw and unfiltered. Think about it. Really think. When you were a kid, you weren't afraid to fall. You climbed trees. The rough bark scraping your hands, the branches bending under your weight, and you laugh as you reach the top, the wind in your hair, the world sprawling out below you. You scrape your knees on the pavement, blood beating up bright and red, and you wipe it off with a grin. Get back up, run faster, try again. The world was yours to conquer, a playground of possibilities, every tumble, just a story to tell later. But somewhere along the way, something shifted, didn't it? The air changed. The light dimmed. Maybe as a teacher who laughed at your wrong answer, their voice sharp, cutting through the room, making your cheeks burn as the other kids snickered. Maybe it was a parent who said, be careful, don't mess this up. Their words heavy with love, but heavier with expectation, planting a seed of doubt you didn't even know was there. Maybe it was a friend who shrugged when you shared your wild idea, their indifference, a quiet rejection. Or maybe it was just life, piling on its lessons, its bruises, its unspoken rules. Don't stand out, don't risk too much. Don't fail. Until the thought of failing didn't feel like a moment anymore. It felt like a mark, a brand, a stain on who you are. That's where it begins, this quiet dread, this gnawing thing that wraps around your dreams and squeezes until they gasp for air. And here's the kicker, the twist you might not have seen yet. You don't even realize how much it's holding you back right now. How it's shaping your days, your choices, your life. It's a thief stealing moments you didn't know you lost. But stick with me, because we're about to peel back the layers, dig into the dirt of it, and what you'll find might surprise you. It might shake you. It might set you free. Don't tune out now, because if you miss this, you might miss the secret that's been hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to claim it. Let's go deeper. Imagine you're in a room. It's not just any room. It's small, the walls close, the air thick with something you can't name. It's dark, so dark you can barely see your own hands, but you feel them trembling. There's a door in front of you, wooden, worn, its edges splintered as if it's been waiting for years. Behind that door is everything you've ever wanted. Success bright, blazing, yours to hold. Happiness, warm, steady, like a fire on a cold night. Freedom, the kind that lets you breathe deep, lets you stand tall, lets you be you. It's all there just beyond the threshold, calling to you in a voice you can't quite hear but can feel in your bones. But there's a catch, a hitch, a shadow lurking in the deal. To open it, you have to risk failing. You don't know what's on the other side, not really, not for sure. It could be glory, a triumph that echoes through your life like a song. Or it could be a stumble, a fall, a crash that leaves you bruised and blinking in the dust, your hands on the knob, the metal cool against your skin, slick with your sweat. You want to turn it, you need to turn it, but you freeze. Your breath catches, your chest tightens, and your mind, it's racing, spinning, spiraling with every worst case scenario it can conjure. You're picturing the embarrassment, the heat in your face as people point, as they whisper. You're hearing the voices, friends, family, strangers, saying, I told you so. They're words like needles under your skin. You're seeing the wreckage, money gone, time wasted, dreams shattered like glass on the floor. That's the fear of failure, doing its job, its cruel, meticulous job, keeping you stuck, keeping you safe, keeping you small. It's a guard dog with teeth bared, growling at the door, daring you to move. But what if I told you there's a way to turn that knob? A way to step through without trembling, without breaking, a way to face that dog and make it heal. Don't tune out now, because if you miss this, you might miss the thread that ties this all together. The whisper that could pull you out of the dark. Let's talk about Sarah for a minute. Sarah was a singer. Not the kind you see on billboards or hear on the radio. She was quieter, softer. Her music a secret she kept close. She had a voice that could stop you in your tracks, though. It was soulful, raw, the kind that reaches inside you and tugs at something deep, something you didn't know was there. When she sang, it was like the world paused. Soft notes curling through the air, wrapping around you, making your chest ache with something you couldn't name. She'd sing in her room, alone, the door locked, the curtains drawn, pouring her heart into every word, every melody. Her voice bounced off the walls, filled the space, became her sanctuary. Friends would hear her sometimes catch a stray note through a cracked window or a thin wall, and they beg her to perform, to share it with the world. You're incredible, they'd say. their eyes wide, their voices earnest. People need to hear this. But every time she thought about stepping on a stage, every time she pictured a crowd, a spotlight, a microphone, her throat would tighten, her breath would shallow, her heart would hammer against her ribs. What if she forgot the words, stumbled over a lyric, left the stage in silence? What if they laughed, their chuckles rippling through the room like a wave she couldn't outrun? What if she wasn't as good as she thought, as they thought? If her voice, her gift, was just a lie she told herself? So she stayed quiet. She kept it locked away. That voice, that treasure, buried it under excuses and what-ifs. Years passed, 5, 10, 15, and that voice stayed in her room, a prisoner of her fear, a song no one ever got to hear. Can you feel that ache, that weight, that slow sinking regret that settles in your gut like a stone? It's heavy, isn't it? It's real. And here's the suspense building, the thread tightening. Sarah's story has a twist, a bend, a moment you won't expect, and it's coming. Don't drift away now, because if you do, you won't catch what happens next. And it's the kind of moment that could light a fire under you, could make you see yourself in her shadow.